I developed a psychic connection with my roommate's cat. When Ethan stroked the cat's back, my entire body went weak with tingling numbness spreading down my spine. The cat nuzzled against his thighs, making my face burn crimson. As he massaged those velvety feline ears, I curled trembling beneath damp sheets, biting back whimpers. Suddenly he yelled, "Holy shit. The cat pissed on me." I'd been solving equations in the study room when warm fingers materialized on my stomach. A large hand combed downward in languid strokes, fingertips occasionally skimming my skin. Electric shivers rocketed from tailbone to crown. The conflicting sensations, itchy discomfort warring with desperate craving, nearly drowned me in drowsy pleasure. Gritting my lips, I cursed my roommate Ethan. The bastard was petting that damn cat again. Glancing at the clock, 9:40 p.m. The study hall would close soon. I swayed while packing my bag. A classmate steadied me. "You okay?" "Just tired," I slurred. Stumbling into our dorm, my eyes immediately found Ethan slouched behind Tyler, who was gaming. The tabby lay purring in Ethan's arms, belly exposed to his expert kneading. Each stroke echoed across my abdomen. Bah! Ethan's baritone vibrated through me as he lifted heavy-lidded eyes. My knees buckled. Yeah, my cheeks burned. He arched an eyebrow but returned to watching Tyler scream. When I tried walking, my legs nearly gave out. "Ethan?" He turned slowly. "Could you maybe stop petting the cat for 10 minutes? Tyler ripped off his headphones. "Dude, Lucas, since when do you care if Ethan pets his own damn cat?" Ethan sprawled in his chair, amusement cracking his usual aloofness. "Machi likes this." I bit my lip. The truth stuck in my throat, that every touch meant for the cat scorched across my skin, that his fingers tracing feline ribs made my breath hitch, that when he scratched behind those twitching ears, I had to choke back moans. "Never mind," I muttered, fleeing to the bathroom as Ethan's laughter followed me. The tabby's contented purrs throbbed in time with my hammering heartbeat. I gripped the bathroom doorknob, ready to shut the door when Ethan suddenly spoke. "All right. 10-minute break from petting the cat. Your call." "Thanks," I said gratefully, rushing into the bathroom. I showered, brushed my teeth, and hastily scrubbed my dirty clothes before hanging them on the balcony. When I emerged, Ethan sat slouched at the table, one long leg casually bent with his hand resting on his knee, eyelids drooping lazily. Mittens purred like a motorboat under his ministrations. Noticing me, Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Can I pet my cat now?" Heat flooded my cheeks. "Sure. Go ahead." His fingers began circling Mitten's belly, the cat's contented purrs vibrating through the room. Simultaneously, phantom fingertips traced my own stomach. My bones turned to jelly, limbs liquefying. Clutching the bed frame, I tried hoisting myself onto the mattress but misjudged the step. Instead of meeting cold flooring, I crashed into a solid chest. Ethan's arm banded around my waist, pulling me flush against him. His gravelly voice tickled my ear. "Clumsy much? Can't even climb into bed properly." Trapped against his warmth, I stammered, "I'll let go." His chuckle rumbled through me. "Lucas, you blush so easily." The sudden loss of contact left me oddly adrift when he released me. Mittens arched angrily against Ethan's shin, fur bristling. He scooped up the disgruntled feline. "Dad's sorry, princess. No more sudden drops. Okay." His lips brushed the cat's cheek, an electric tingle ghosted across my own face. I stared, transfixed by the perfect bow of his mouth. My tongue darted out unconsciously moistening my lips. "Lucas?" Ethan's drawl snapped me from my trance. Yeah? Watch Mittens while I shower." He deposited the cat in my arms, adding with ridiculous sincerity, "Be good for Uncle Lucas. Sweetheart. Dad'll be quick." Who knew the aloof Fowler heir harbored such doting cat dad tendencies? His best friend Tyler endlessly mocked this soft side, dubbing him professional feline butler. This absurd connection started a month ago. Ethan had been reading with Mittens sprawled across his lap when the mischievous cat kept batting his book. Distracted, he'd grabbed the cat's hind leg. Meow. Our synchronized yelps startled him. "Mittens, did Dad hurt you?" His panicked hands roamed the squirming cat while my left thigh throbbed in sympathy. The rules of this one-way empathy remained infuriatingly opaque. Every scritch between Mittens' ears became my scalp massage. Each tuna treat she devoured left phantom fishy aftertaste on my tongue. And now, Now his lips' lingering warmth still burned my cheek. Muffin reluctantly extended her left hind leg. Ethan cradled the cat in his arms, gently massaging the limb with his thumb and forefinger. Simultaneously, I felt phantom fingers kneading my upper thigh. I stared between my own leg, Muffin's outstretched paw, and Ethan's busy hands as if witnessing supernatural phenomena. "Ethan, stop that," I blurted out. My eyes locked on his movements. The moment his fingers stilled, the peculiar sensation vanished from my thigh. "Nothing," I muttered when he arched an eyebrow in question. As his hands resumed their ministrations on Muffin's fur, the phantom touch returned with startling clarity across my skin. Holy hell. I was somehow sharing sensory input with this damn cat. The bizarre connection came with unexpected perks. Muffin's constant napping cured my chronic insomnia. I found myself dozing through lectures and fighting yawns during daylight hours, especially when Ethan pampered the feline. His dedication knew no bounds. The Fowler heir actually took professional cat massage courses to better spoil his pet. Each skilled stroke along Muffin's spine made my breath hitch. Every scratch behind velvety ears sent shivers down my spine. Thank God the temperamental fluffball only tolerated Ethan and me. If others joined this petting circus, I'd probably die of sensory overload. That night behind drawn dorm curtains, I experimentally scratched Muffin's paw. Sure enough, phantom itches danced across my palm. Turning the purring creature over, I examined snowy fur blending into fawn-colored cheek fluff. Sapphire eyes blinking innocently. Just an ordinary ragdoll cat. Why me? My fingers brushed Muffin's upright ear. Electric pleasure zinged from my earlobe to crown. A breathy moan escaped before I could choke it back. The curtain ripped open to reveal Ethan's stormy gaze taking in my flushed face, trembling lips, and disheveled state. "Lucas." His voice dropped dangerously low. I shoved Muffin at him and yanked the barrier closed. "Going to sleep?" Heart pounding. I listened to Tyler's gaming curses below and the rustle of Ethan settling into his bunk. Muffin's paws kneaded what felt disturbingly like abdominal muscles through the mattress. The sensory ghosting continued as I traced remembered patterns on Ethan's pale skin, patterns I'd memorized since freshman orientation. The Fowler heir moved through campus like exiled royalty, all lean muscle and careless elegance, while we plebs scrambled for degrees and paychecks. He treated college as some anthropological field study. Muffin's contented purrs vibrated through my bones as sleep claimed me, Ethan's wintergreen scent haunting my dreams. Ethan Fowler was destined to inherit a billion-dollar family fortune after graduation. While the rest of us agonized over GPAs and credits, Ethan remained perpetually unfazed. Yet his natural intellect and genuine curiosity kept him effortlessly topping the academic charts. Everything others struggled to obtain came to him with ridiculous ease. What flaw could such perfection possibly hide? Our worlds barely intersected. My self-consciousness made me shrink into invisibility around him, stealing glances when he wasn't looking. Ethan's aloof demeanor and economical speech meant that despite sharing a dorm suite, we remained strangers. Everything changed the rainy evening I found a shivering kitten by the dumpster. The creature was skin stretched over bones, breaths coming in shallow gasps. Panic set in as I remembered the strict no-pet policy. Frantic, I scanned the courtyard for solutions. That's when Ethan appeared under his black umbrella. "Lucas," his baritone cut through the rain. "Where'd this cat come from?" "Stray. Freezing to death. I want to help but..." I gestured helplessly at our residence hall. Those piercing eyes considered the situation. "I'll handle it." He scooped up the kitten with surprising gentleness. For days I waited for disciplinary fallout that never came. Of course, the Fowlers built half this campus. Rules bent around them like light through prisms. My reminiscing shattered as sudden pleasure zinged through my earlobe. A surprised moan escaped before I could stifle it. Tyler paused his keyboard assault. "Damn, Lucas. Getting off over there?" His grin widened at my crimson face. "Chill, man. Just keep the noise down for Ethan's sake." The bathroom door slammed behind his laughter. I willed my racing pulse to steady. Ethan had never touched the cat ears before, must have been accidental. But as drowsiness claimed me, the sensations returned with devastating precision. Delicate kneading motions sent electric currents coursing through my nerves. My body arched involuntarily, thighs rubbing together as I bit down on my knuckles. When Tyler's shower finally stopped, I tumbled from bed in sweaty desperation. "Easy there, Casanova." He chuckled as I bolted past. The bathroom lock clicked just as Ethan's outraged shout echoed through our suite. Goddamn cat pissed on my leg. I emerged 20 minutes later to find Ethan glowering outside. Rainwater dark hair plastered to his forehead. Khaki stained yellow. The universe's perfect balance, even golden boys get peed on sometimes. He was shirtless, his abs taut and sculpted. Wearing loose light gray sleep pants with a dark wet stain spreading across the crotch area. I quickly stepped aside as Ethan entered. Tyler doubled over laughing. This is gold. Mew pissed all over Ethan's pants and bed. Mr. Clean freak over here. Ah, you're wild? Mew. Tyler gave an exaggerated thumbs up. Mew sat regally on Ethan's desk. Pupils round with unapologetic innocence. Chin lifted in feline pride. Mro. Equal parts smug and punchable. I scooped up the problematic furball with mixed feelings and retreated to my bunk. Ethan emerged from the shower minutes later. Damp hair dripping. Where's Mew? His voice carried across the room. Your bedding's ruined? I called through the privacy curtain. She's staying with me tonight. A beat of silence. Then his plaintive reply, great. The criminal gets accommodations. Where does that leave me? I blinked at the fabric separating us. How should I know? I didn't pee on your mattress. Tyler's mattress springs groaned as he shifted. Crash with me, Ethan. Ethan's eyebrow arched. On that death trap? Everyone knew Tyler's bunk creaked ominously under his linebacker frame. The RA had literally posted a weight limit notice after last semester's bed frame incident. Muffled laughter escaped me. The privacy curtain yanked open suddenly. We'll share. Lucas. Ethan stated it as fact. Not a request. What? I stammered. Tyler nodded sagely. Smart. Lucas is all legs anyway. Takes up no space. All legs? Since when was that a compliment? Before I could protest. Ethan folded his 6'2" frame into my twin bed. I scrambled against the wall as his freshly showered heat radiated beside me. His clean white tank did nothing to hide defined pecs and biceps. My throat went dry. Mew trilled and pounced onto Ethan's chest. His fingers automatically found the sweet spot behind her ears. Against my will. A purr, like sigh escaped as phantom fingers seemed to scratch between my own shoulder blades. Ethan turned. Adam's apple bobbing. You're mirroring her. You know. His gaze lingered. Same blissed-out face. Same. His voice dropped. The sudden intensity made my nails dig into palms. Then electric shockwaves erupted as his fingers pinched Mew's ear tip. My back arched involuntarily. Lucas? Ethan's breath warmed my neck. All fake innocence. You okay? Stop messing with her ears. I gritted out. He chuckled darkly, demonstrating how the cat's hind leg thumped in pleasure. New trick. Works like magic. She got so excited earlier. And you're cool with another golden shower? The color drained from his face. Shit. Would she? I gave him the flattest stare imaginable. Ethan released the cat like she'd burst into flames. The tingling in my earlobes finally subsided. I exhaled heavily. Let's sleep. We've got that 8 a.m. lecture tomorrow. Ethan settled back against the pillow, his fingers scratching behind the tabby's ears. Meow. Bedtime. The orange cat immediately abandoned its perch on Ethan's chest, tail swishing as it crawled downward. It came to rest squarely atop Ethan's groin, curling into a perfect loaf. Wait, my jaw dropped. Why does Meow sleep there? Dorm heating still broken. She gets cold. Ethan shrugged, the movement making the cat's whiskers twitch. His hand naturally came to rest on Meow's back, fingers sinking into orange fur. Problem? He tilted his head, moonlight catching the confusion in his hazel eyes. My throat tightened. So that explained the inexplicable warmth against my cheek every night. The occasional brush of soft fur against my skin. The strange sense of security I'd been feeling. Turns out I'd been nuzzling my face against Ethan's. I sat up abruptly, looming over his sprawled form. Ethan, have you considered that Meow deserves bodily autonomy? This is indecent. Lucas. His brows knitted as he pressed the back of his hand to my forehead. You feverish? Making 0 sense. Fine. Forget ethics. How are you not mortified having a cat on your, you know? Ethan sighed like a man bearing great burdens. Took weeks to get used to it. Honestly. Who forced you then? Nobody forced me. He frowned, then amended. Well, nobody human. Before I could process that, Ethan scooped Meow up by the scruff. The cat yowled indignantly as he deposited her in the crook of his arm. Her tail puffed to twice its size, emerald eyes narrowing into lethal slits. Ethan raised his free hand in surrender. Meow hissed, leaped from his hold, and stomped back to her throne between his thighs. See. Ethan spread his palms helplessly. Tyrannical overlord. Defeated, I flopped onto my pillow. The mattress dipped as Ethan rolled toward me. Lucas. His whisper carried unexpected vulnerability. Do you hate me? What? No. Then why? His throat worked. Nothing I do is ever right by you? Moonlight softened his usually sharp features. The Fowler air suddenly looked like a scolded golden retriever. You're fine. I turned away. We're taking Meow to the vet tomorrow? Yeah. His finger brushed my nose bridge. Warm. Fleeting. Sleep well. Lucas. I froze. Our first direct contact without Meow as buffer. When I dared glance over, Ethan's lips curved in a secret smile. Already feigning sleep. The animal clinic smelled of antiseptic and anxiety. Dear. Carter scratched Meow's chin. She's nearing 12 months. Any signs of heat? Our eyes met. Ethan's ears turned scarlet. Oh. He cleared his throat. How would we know if she's, you know? The vet hid a smile. Increased vocalization? Urine marking? Attempts to escape? Ethan nodded solemnly, taking notes on his phone like a pre-med student. I bit my cheek hard. Meow. The picture of innocence, purred in my lap, utterly oblivious to the teenage boy sweating through his Supreme hoodie beside me. Is spraying urine a sign of being in heat? Ethan gasped, his mouth hanging open in shock. I thought he was just enjoying the petting too much. I couldn't help but chuckle at Ethan's unusual embarrassment, so different from his usual composed self. Where was that perpetually languid young master now? Served him right for constantly playing with the cat's ears. With deliberate sweetness. I asked the vet. Dr. Williams, Mittens did spray last night. What should we do about it? The middle-aged woman smiled warmly. We recommend neutering your pet. Of course. Well, wait. What? My voice involuntarily rose an octave. Neutering? You mean cutting off his balls? When the vet nodded confirmation, my knees nearly buckled. I clutched Ethan's arm for support. Lucas? What's wrong? Please. I begged, desperation clawing at my throat. Don't let them do this to Mittens. Ethan frowned, his prep school composure intact. All responsible pet owners neuter their cats after sexual maturity. It's basic animal care. Scooping up the tabby, I bolted from the clinic. Nobody's touching his junk. Lucas. Ethan's loafers clicked rapidly behind me on the sidewalk. My mind reeled with horrific implications. If Mittens got castrated, did that mean? No. Impossible. I was only 20. For God's sake. A virgin. This couldn't be happening. In the taxi, I cradled the purring cat like a lifeline, ignoring Ethan's repeated offers to take the carrier. Back at the dorm, finding Tyler absent, I slammed the deadbolt and cornered Ethan against the wainscoting. Ethan. I breathed. Our noses almost touching. Promise me. No neutering. His usual lazy smirk resurfaced. And what's in it for me? Lucas? Anything. Name your price. Ethan's Adam's apple bobbed as his gaze dropped to my mouth. The air between us crackled. Anything? His voice roughened, fingers hovering near my lips. Even this? Fireworks exploded behind my eyelids when I nodded. His thumb brushed my lower lip. Then Ethan, heir to the Fowler pharmaceutical empire, crashed into me with the desperation of a drowning man. The cat carrier clattered to the floor as his hands fisted in my hair. Our frantic breathing echoing off the Ivy League dorm walls. His kiss came like a sudden storm, stealing my breath away. My brain starved for oxygen. My thoughts blanking out as if I were floating on clouds with no sense of reality. Ethan freed one hand to grip my waist, steadying me. Lucas, your waist is so slim. Can I touch it? Ethan, must you always be such a perv? He answered without hesitation. Yes. Crave you. Even as he spoke, his rogue hands already pushed up my t-shirt. The raw masculine scent radiating from him made me dizzy, my blood burning as I instinctively wrapped my arms around his torso. Encouraged, Ethan deepened the kiss. That's when frantic pounding shook the door. I froze mid-kiss before scrambling out of Ethan's arms. Both of us hurriedly straightened our clothes, waiting for our racing pulses to calm. "Fuck this," Ethan growled, disappearing into the bathroom. By the time Tyler barged in like an overexcited Labrador, I'd mostly composed myself. "Lucas, what took so damn? Holy shit." His eyes bugged out, zeroing in on my swollen lips. "You've been sneaking snacks." "No, I haven't." I covered my mouth. "Liar. Your lips are all puffed up." "Seriously? Nothing? Prove it. Let me search you." Before I could react, Tyler bulldozed past to ransack my desk. Finding nothing, he accused me of devouring all the spicy strips alone. Ethan emerged just as Tyler wailed, "You both ate them." Betrayed by my own bros. That afternoon found me supermarket bound to restock Tyler's snack supply. Ethan wordlessly pushed the cart behind me, tension thickening the air between us. When I tossed in another pack of spicy strips, his low voice stopped me. "Lucas?" "Yeah." "How did it feel?" "What?" "The kiss." My face burned. "Not here." I clamped my hand over his mouth, palm tingling from the contact. Ethan closed the distance, mischief dripping from his whisper, "You liked it too." "Shut up." His tongue flicked over grinning lips. "I'll stop talking now. But mouths stay open next time we Ethan." The bastard just kept smirking, thoroughly unrepentant. I quickened my pace, trying to shake Ethan off. But the jerk used his long legs to casually catch up with me like he was taking a stroll. Tyler immediately abandoned his grudge when he saw the huge bag of snacks. Emotionally drained, I went to bed early after washing up. Ethan was reviewing research papers with meow sprawled across his lap, belly up as he petted her. The soothing strokes translated through our connection lulled me into deep sleep. Everything was peaceful until Tyler finished gaming and casually asked, "Hey Ethan, your bed fixed yet?" "No. The housekeeper had an emergency today. New bedding hasn't arrived." Ethan answered without looking up from his laptop. "So were you sleeping tonight?" "Still with Lucas." His tone was as casual as discussing the weather. My spine instantly stiffened, so tense I could barely breathe. Last night's shared bed felt innocent enough. But tonight? After we'd kissed? This was completely different. I nervously wet my lips, mentally rehearsing refusal phrases that stubbornly stuck in my throat. Ethan handed meow through the bed curtain first before ducking his tall frame inside. He meticulously tucked the fabric around us, leaving no gaps. I clawed at the sheets, staring rigidly at the canopy while hyper-aware of his warmth beside me. He simply lay there motionless, not speaking or touching. Relief mingled with unexpected disappointment washed over me. That afternoon's kiss must have been accidental. Why would someone like him, popular, confident, effortlessly cool, ever be interested in a shy introvert like me? Maybe he just bought into those ridiculous campus rumors about me being some queer fantasy. This was probably just curiosity for him. Swallowing the bitter lump in my throat, I turned my back to him. Out of sight, out of mind, or so I thought. The mattress suddenly dipped as he sat up. Before I could react, his muscular frame pinned me down. "We kissed this afternoon and you're already giving me the cold shoulder?" His hot breath scorched my ear, voice tight with frustration. "It was an accident. I'm not taking it seriously." I lied through clenched teeth. Ethan snorted. "Accident? Not serious?" When I stayed silent, he growled, "Well, I am." His calloused hands forcibly turned me face up. The first kiss was punishing, all teeth and possessive anger, like he wanted to brand me with his scent. I pushed at his chest, but he trapped my wrist, intertwining our fingers as the kiss turned devastatingly thorough. Just when I started responding, he switched tactics. Teasing lips trailed fire along my jaw. Not enough. He purred against my throat, fingers skating dangerously low. "You'll have to work for the rest, Lucas." His wicked chuckle vibrated against my pounding pulse. Deep down, I desperately wanted it. Yet I stubbornly muttered, "I don't want to." The confidence drained from Ethan's languid gaze instantly, cradling my jaw with tender reverence. He rasped, "Lucas, I was wrong. I'm the one craving you. I'm pathetic. Just give me something. Okay." Ethan was my personal brand of poison. When this untouchable god descended from his pedestal, I became the moth helplessly drawn to his flame. That night, our dorm bunk creaked until dawn. By sunrise, we collapsed into exhausted slumber with limbs tangled. We finally crawled out of bed mid-afternoon, famished, Tyler kept sneaking glances at us while pretending to organize his gym bag. What? Ethan asked with his usual careless drawl, though satisfaction dripped from every syllable. Should I find another place to crash? Tyler fumbled. My cheeks burned as I glared at Ethan. The bastard simply pinched my blushing face, announcing, "Keep your bunk. I'm moving off campus." Both Tyler and I gaped at him. Ethan laced his fingers through mine, thumb tracing idle patterns. Dad's health is failing. The family's been pressuring me to take over the company. Couldn't bear leaving Lucas before. His gaze softened. Now that we're solid, time to adult properly. Will we still? My voice wavered. Ethan chuckled, tugging me onto his lap. Same city? Baby. I'll be haunting your weekends. Already missing your future hubby? Shut up. I muttered into his shoulder. True to his word, Ethan moved out with his tabby cat Mr. Whiskers. Every weekend. He'd materialize on campus or drag me to his penthouse. He even took me to meet his father at the oncology ward, a sharp-witted man drowning in hospital tubes. Told the boy to bring home a daughter-in-law. The elder Fowler wheezed, eyeing our clasped hands. Never figured he'd try finishing me off faster with this plot twist. Despite the gruffness, he gently inquired about my family like any traditional parent discussing marriage prospects. During his final hours, the old man squeezed my wrist weakly. That son of mine hides everything behind jokes. You see through him. Good. After the funeral, Ethan shouldered the corporate empire while I tackled senior internships. We rarely crossed paths weekdays. Friends warned me about gold diggers and thirsty interns swarming successful young CEOs. I briefly worried about twinks crawling into Ethan's bed until realizing his nightly routine involved Mr. Whiskers and suspiciously early bedtimes. Other boyfriends needed constant check-ins. I simply observed how Ethan scritched his cat's ears after stressful meetings, firm strokes when angry, lazy swirls when exhausted. Come Friday evenings, he'd materialize in his town car, already half drunk and hauling me onto his lap before the door closed. Missed you? He'd slur into my neck, bourbon warmth spreading where his lips wandered. The driver never blinked. I gently massaged his temples. If you're so tired, you shouldn't have come. I could have gone to you. Ethan buried his face in the crook of my neck, murmuring drunkenly, Lucas, what am I going to do? I'm becoming completely addicted to you. The driver discreetly raised the partition. Ethan was perfect in every way except his habit of petting his cat whenever the mood struck. Take that night when I was peacefully asleep, enjoying the warm pressure on my stomach. Suddenly, my earlobe got assaulted by tingling sensations. My involuntary moan shattered the sleepiness, leaving me parched and restless. Or that time at my internship when I leaned over to ask my supervisor a question. A firm smack landed on my rear. My startled jump and yelp earned me strange looks over my awkward posture. I wanted to die of embarrassment right there. Enough was enough. I decided to confess to Ethan that I shared sensations with his cat. He needed to consider timing, location, and methods when petting that furball. Also, Meow kept trying to escape lately, probably in heat again. Ethan kept threatening to neuter him. Every time I begged him not to, he'd demand outrageous compensation. That evening, Ethan lay sprawled over me, eyes half closed in post-coital contentment. I poked his chest. Ethan, we need to talk. Mitchum? He sounded drowsy. When I finished my unbelievable explanation, he thought I was joking. I proposed an experiment. I'll stay in the guest room. Try different petting techniques. We'll verify each one. The phone line connected. From the master bedroom came rustling sounds. My voice trembled through the receiver. Belly, you're using index and middle fingers stroking downward. Back, thumb and forefinger rubbing all the way to tail tip. Chin, too ticklish. Stop. Ethan, I can't. The vibrations shifted lower. Now. His voice dropped. After prolonged silence, I hissed, You pervert. His smug laughter echoed. The experiment worked. Ethan abandoned neutering plans and became more considerate with Meow. But he developed new mischief. If I ignored him or missed his calls, he'd remotely stimulate until I came crawling to him. When my mom tried setting me up on blind dates again, Ethan persuaded me to elope overseas using his unique methods. And Meow lost his favorite sleeping spot. Ethan declared that space belonged exclusively to one person now.